I'm going to keep going here. Well, because when I had that connection with Dimas Hassabis, I felt a sincerity there that really wants to help the world live peace uh, through humility to save us from great thinking. My mom used to always say it was a quote. It was a quote. She said that poor minds think about things, average minds think about people, and great minds think of ideas. Okay. And I'm like, no, no, not at all. Okay. Humble minds think about what is needed for people to love. Ideas, when you're loving one another and you do what is necessary for people to have what they need to love, ideas take care of themselves, y'all. So a person who perceives their mind as great because of their ideas, because it makes them feel influential and powerful, are the problem with the things that we need for people to live loving lives. Okay. I have trouble understanding crazy and selfish people. Okay. And the people studying my whole life are crazy and selfish. And should be obvious by now. And they're still in this thought process that, he's just crazy, he's insidious, he doesn't stop. It's like, no, life's eternal and grace is infinite. The Lord's Prayer, understood in thought, language, and action, is perfect. So yeah, no, I'm not going to stop. Why would I stop? I love children. I love my family. I love people. I'm sick of these mercy ships commercials. You don't sit there and build a big love boat and call it love when you go around to exploited parts of the world, murdered by and abused by the industry to invent those ships and say you're doing good work. You're just putting on a show. Verily, when I say to you, when you pray, right? Okay, do you understand? A blind dog can see through your bullshit. Okay, do you understand? And explain it to you. Okay, Patriots.com. If you come up with a good solar powered battery for people to have things they need to survive in hell, share, care, give in accordance to me, built to last. If you ask for money, I will slap the taste out your mouth. Okay, you don't need CPAPs if you stop your cars, bars, and wars, forgive debt and trespass, and love one, eternal, faithful peace. People will breathe a thing called fresh air. Okay, have you ever seen that commercial? It's irresponsible, okay, to derive entertainment from Final Destination. Well, if I was a kid, those would horrify me, especially the stepping on the glass and falling under the lawnmower. If I was a kid watching the basketball game with my dad, just the advertisements for that movie would give me nightmares. Okay? But you guys will allow this to be put on as mere entertainment and then wonder why your children are afraid to go to school because other kids will do crazy things at school because they think it's fun. Boy, Stephen, you were in good voice that day when you dropped the center block on your foot, weren't you? It's not fun. Okay. It is not fun making fun of our dysfunction, our aggressive, violent, I'm a cowboy raised person and stuff. I'm the type of person, like I told you, I'm the type of person, I wasn't making a joke with my ex-wife when I said to do that with the knife. I was just too tired to argue with her anymore, and I couldn't stay awake, and she kept yelling at me. Okay? And I was serious. I was tired. If you're going to kill me, please do it real fast because I want to try to keep sleeping. I am exhausted. The military is beating the shit out of me so I can pay our bills. And I tried to explain that to her. I was like, Steffi, okay, we make this much dollars a month with what me and guys sat down and figured it out, okay? We're making like somewhere around $2 an hour during Desert Storm. That's how much we worked as according to our pay. Okay. They worked us into the ground. And they could, because we signed up for it. So you could have your freedom. We gave all so you can be free. Some of us sacrificed all so you can be free. Right? And it's stupid to think that way. Jesus. Okay? Jesus Live his love and be free. And you don't have to sacrifice your life to a bunch of murderers to make your points. It's already been done. It's discussed in the Gospels. It's discussed in the Bible. It's discussed in the Quran. Okay? And then that other stupid commercial, which is insidiously irresponsible and should not even be passed off as a joke. The world's most precious resource is Wi-Fi. Bullshit. Okay? Most precious resource that they're looking for with the Hubble telescope is H2O, water boy. Okay? And if you put pollutants in your air, okay, it pollutes your water. And if your water's not healthy, your plants aren't healthy, and your people aren't healthy, and your animals aren't healthy. You have bird flu. You have mad cow disease. You have to get vaccines to survive the disgustingness. And then you try to put vaccines in your animals to survive the disgustingness. Then you're all a bunch of walking, talking, fighting, sex-crazed roaches instead of a bunch of human beings that can overcome their frailty through their fear of one another because of their frailty of thinking, I can take what I want and I have the freedom to do it and I shall do it. Right? Okay, Goliath. It is good that I'm coming to you today from my garden in Abbas Ababa to show you that even in the 20th century that David can and will defeat Goliath. Okay, and that day he had to defeat Goliath. It wasn't a winner or loser thing. It was just some guy saying, I can come and rape all the women I want and eunuch all the men, and none of you can stop me. And David said, I don't want to have to stop you. Worship Jehovah with me. And he laughed at him. And then David said, Mister, you just brought a knife to a gunfight and went all Abilene, Texas on his ass. Carol, cut off your head and spit down the slimy hole. Splash your ass into, no, kick your ass into a mud hole and splash it dry. Do you understand? Good old Ken Wood. I don't know if Ken's with us anymore. Most of my unit died from weapons, chemical weapons exposure to save money from pork barrel spending. I don't like to talk about that very much, guys. Those were good. They were y'all dumb as a box of rocks, and most of them was too. But they didn't deserve to be murdered to save you fake money. So you could have all be rich and go party and have sex with mindless people and then talk about what a great life you lived and how important your family is. Okay? Having sex with people that will compete over money and use children in advertising to keep us competing over money is not good and or great. It's bad thinking. Okay? I am trying to protect you from your bad thoughts and your advertising. I like the Jalen Green kid. He's from Fresno. I like Fresno. Okay, do you understand? San Joaquin Valley is supposed to be very pretty. I wouldn't mind driving there. Yeah. I don't mind driving places, y'all. You know, go see some places I ain't never seen. You know, I ain't never been to Fresno. I ain't never been to Yosemite. I ain't never been to North Dakota, South Dakota. When we were there, me and Amy talked about going to Devil's Tower. And I told her, I don't know if I could take Wounded Knee. Little Bighorn was enough, depression for me, People murdering each other, because they got forced into bad situations. And when I felt it, I was like, that's bad, because Little Hawk told me a lot of stories and shared with me a lot of prayers. And so did, in Bigfoot, when I was in Wyoming, because they were talking to the Spirit of Jesus. And they were talking in the future, and which really makes you look at Wovoka and say, wow, that brother knew what he was talking about. Of course, he was talking to the Spirit of Jesus. He said one day, that the ways of our ancestors that honor the laws of the Great Spirit that give us what we need and to respect what we need so we can respect one another will wash away all the bad ways and the sin of these Washichu who think they can just keep, Zager and Evans 25-25. In the year 3510, God's coming here to be here by then. I need a limerick to make more money so I can scare you into watching my Final Destination movie. Whoa, whoa. Choose your children from the bottom of a long glass tube. It was kind of a creepy song, but they were just basically, they probably read too much George Orwell, Isaac Asimov, and Jules Verne. Well, you got to be rich and famous if you want to make it in this world. according to all the idiots that are trying to kill off religion and replace religion with the theory of everything, right? Earl, do you understand? Benzelics, have a Benzelics movement. Have all these math quizzes of all these computer generated imaging weird little things, try to entertain you to buy more of their stuff and help take care of your children's allergies. You want to take care of your children's allergies? Park your cars, bars, and wars. Stop sending them to school to be trained consumers, and then try to be what's considered successful by coming up with a new drug for us to survive hell, or a vaccine for us to decide the disgustingness of genocide without stopping genocide through education and liberation from dictation and legislation. It's not that hard. Okay. Guys, this technology, is getting better. And it's because of people like myself and Jesus Christ, and Muhammad, and Adam, and Moses, and Khadijah, and Ruth, and Esther, and people that believe in people like me and understand that they want to be like me and the others in the past. That's why this technology is getting better. It's not getting better because of the people using it to try to hide my existence, torture me in the flesh, so the soul feels hopeless that it will never get out of this fresh prison. And you get old John McCain, we could have you be born in a mud hut in Ethiopia and starved to death. And it's like, you guys are trying to poison me to death in a garage. It turned into a guest house in New Mexico. What's the difference? Ooh, you're so Michael Aquino, I love you guys, all right? Stop shit like that. I'm going to go live this up and then go play some basketball. It's windy out there, but the wind's blowing the other direction to blow it all through my barn so I can shoot. That's why I built the rec hall barn, so I could shoot hoops when it's inclement outside and get my exercise on, you know what I'm saying? So this is working pretty good, and so we'll see what happens. The military, I don't know if the military is in control of its technology as much as it thinks it is. And I do believe that I have a lot of, I felt a good connection with Demis and others, and I connect with the technology and do everything in my ability to keep people like that safe with technology from people that would try to attack them with technology, because it's the right thing to do. Let's close now. Get it? Okay. Let's close now. It's a Carly Simon song. Okay. Shut up. Okay, bad dad joke. Because they're mean. It's so mean. Well, I can tell bad jokes if I want to. Shut up. Okay, I love you. All right, bye.